Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to another edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. And here we are in another week where a lot of cards are going up in value, especially Commander staples again. But I will say this, maybe things are beginning to stabilize. There's still a ton of cards going up in value, but they're not going up as much as they were going up over the last 3 weeks. So maybe in another week or two, we might see things stabilize a little bit. Couple quick things before we get into the prices. First off, we're not going to talk about Commander 2020 or Ikoria cards just yet in these videos. The prices are still very unstable since they truly haven't really distributed yet. Also, too, if you go to flipsidegaming.com, you can use the Heroes promo code to save 10% on orders over $10. However, just a reminder, they're not going to ship those orders out until they reopen at some point in the future. With that being said, now without any further ado, let's get into it. We're going to begin as we always do with Standard in your top 12 Standard legal cards that have lost value this week. Number 12 is Hallowed Fountain from Ravnica Allegiance. It goes down 22 cents to $8.60. The main reason this card is dropping is because there's a copy of this in the Wild Bounty Brawl deck. A lot of those decks were distributed, so there's a lot of this card in circulation right now, but it does see play in a lot of big Standard decks currently. Bant Mid-Ramp, Jeskai Fires, Azorius Control, and more. In Pioneer, this is in Bant Spirits and other decks there. Modern, it's in another huge deck, Bant Snowblade, and of course other places there too. Number 11 is Idyllic Tutor, the original for Morningtide. It goes down 24 cents to $12.18. Of course, this was reprinted as a rare in Theros Beyond Death, which is why this card has softened up. It's still a good card in Commander for enchantment-heavy decks, and now a very good Brawl card, too. Number 10 is Blood Crypt, the original from Dissension. It goes down 29 cents to $22.56. This is in Rakdos Sacrifice, Rakdos Lurrus, and other decks in Standard. Also sees plenty of Pioneer and Modern play. Number 9 is Niv Mizzet Reborn. It goes down 31 cents to $5.19, and this sees a little Standard play, but mostly this is a Pioneer and Modern card in those Niv to Light builds. And I will say they are seeing less play than they were seeing maybe a couple months back, so that's part of the reason this is softening up. Number 8 is Watery Grave from Ravnica City of Guilds. It goes down 35 cents to $18.99. So there was one copy of the Guilds of Ravnica version of this card in the Fairy Schemes Brawl deck, so again, that's part of the reason this card is soft. But much like Hallowed Fountain, it does see a whole lot of play. Standard Sultai mid-range builds will run this, also 4-color Super Friends, and other decks in the Standard format. This also sees plenty of Pioneer and Modern play too. Number 7 is Absorb, the one from Ravnica Allegiance. It goes down 36 cents to $2.50. This is in Azorius Control decks and more in the Standard format, but I will say recently it has seen less Pioneer play, which is why the card has gone down a little. Number 6 is Steam Vents from Return to Ravnica. It goes down 38 cents to $12.12, and you can find one copy of the Guilds of Ravnica version of this card in the 2020 Challenger deck, Allied Fires. And of course, that's why this card has been losing value. But again, sees a lot of play. Jeskai Fires, Temur Reclamation, Temur Adventures, and more in Standard. Also, many times you'll find this in Pioneer and Modern builds. Number 5 is Korvold, Faker's King, the non-foil copy. It goes down 40 cents to $8.75. Of course, that foil copy, there was a lot of those in circulation because it was in the Savage Hunger Brawl deck. And that's part of the reason this card has lost some of its value. Still a great Brawl and great Commander card, and I think a lot of players in those formats will want a copy of this. When it comes to Standard, it is seeing less play. The Jund Sacrifice deck is still kicking around, but a lot more people are playing the Rakdos version of that deck now, which does not run this. Number 4 is Vivian Arkbow Ranger, down 42 cents to $8.55, and this is just not seeing a whole lot of Standard play right now, and that's why it has been soft. In Pioneer, though, you'll find this in Mono Green Walkers and Hardened Constrictor. Number 3 is Leyline of the Void from Magic 2011, down 43 cents to $12. And again, this card's a little soft because it did get reprinted not too long ago in Core Set 2020 as a rare. But ultimately, another card that doesn't see a ton of Standard play. I mean, you do find this in sideboards sometimes in Standard as well as Pioneer. But really, it's Modern and Legacy decks that appreciate this card a lot more out of the side. Number 2, very solid card that continues to lose value because of extra distribution. It's Brazen Borrower. It goes down 54 cents to $14.39, and you can find one copy of this in the Flash of Ferocity Challenger deck for 2020. This is in a number of Standard builds, though, right now. Jeskai Fires, Temur Reclamation, Temur Adventure, Simic and Temur Flash, and more. Pioneer, this sees play there. Modern, you'll find this in Grixis Wurza and other decks, and it even sees Legacy play. Number 1 is Breeding Pool, the one from Dissension, although there's another Breeding Pool that's going up we're going to see in a few moments, so I just think this original Dissension one does tend to be a little bit turbulent. It goes down 73 cents this week to $33.47, and again, this is a key part of so many big mana bases right now in Standard. Bant Mid-Ramp, Temur Reclamation, Temur Adventure, Sultai Midrange, and more. Pioneer, it's in Sultai Delirium, which is a big deck in that format, plus others there. Modern, it's in Bant Snowblade, another huge deck, and other places in that format as well. Alright, let's move on to the top 8 standard legal cards that have gained value this week. So not a lot of people are playing Paper Standard right now, but a lot of folks are playing it on Magic the Gathering Online or Magic Arena, and they're thinking about what decks they want to build. So there are cards going up in value because of the current standard. Also, too, you have speculators thinking, well, once people can play Paper Standard again, they're going to want certain cards, and they're trying to pick those up too. So let's see what's happening. Number 8 is a card that's actually not moving because of standard. It's Nyx Bloom Ancient. It goes up 79 cents to $14.79. This is a fantastic commander card. It's been very popular ever since it came out and has pushed these big mana builds, made them better. This also can be a great combo enabler by creating situations where you can have a lot of mana on hand. Also, this has even seen some more play with some new cards like Zixara the Exemplary and Kinnan Bonder Prodigy. Number 7 is Sacred Foundry, up 84 cents to $15.19. This is the one from Ravnica City of Guilds. In Standard, it's in Jeskai Fires, Jeskai Control, and some other decks there. You're also going to find this in a lot of Pioneer and Modern builds as well. Number 6 is Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hunger. It goes up 96 cents to $20.96. You'll find this in Rakdos Sacrifice, Rakdos Lurrus, and more in Standard. Modern, this is in Jund as well as Lurrus Jund and other decks there too. And this sees a fair amount of Brawl and Commander play nowadays as well. Number 5 is Finale of Devastation. It goes up $1.23 to $16.32. This does see a little standard play, but when I think of this card, I think more about Modern. This is in Devoted Devastation and some variants on that build. This is also a huge Brawl and Commander card and has seen some play in these big mana decks, but now is seeing even more play because of some newer cards. Again, cards like Zixara the Exemplary and Kinnan Bonder Prodigy. Number 4 is Chromatic Lantern. This is the one for Mystery Boosters, and those cards are still kind of trying to find their price points in some cases. This one goes up $1.69 to $7.99, and of course, this is a huge Brawl and Commander card. Number 3 is the other breeding pool I promised. This is the one from Gatecrash. It goes up $2.41 to $27.25. Number 2 is Agent of Treachery, up $3.52 to $9.22. This card's been hot for a couple weeks now, mostly because of the extreme amount of play that it's seeing in Standard. Bant mid-ramp decks, and there are a few different builds of them, have been using this to great success. It sees play in some other builds in the format as well. On top of that, it has seen increased Commander play with some new cards recently. Thassa Deep Dwelling, Yorion Sky Nomad are just 2 examples. Now beyond that, this also showed up in a Tolarian Community College video, which could have brought some more attention to it too. I mentioned this over the last couple weeks. I won't talk about every card that has shown up in a major video or article this week just because it's just going to take up too much time. But no, because you have a lot of new cards coming out, the Commander 2020 decks, as well as Ikoria. There's a lot of content being created right now talking about deck builds and deck lists, and that is bringing attention to a variety of different cards. Many of them are going up on today's video. And that takes us to number 1, Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath, of $4.69 to $49.94. And this card feels like it's everywhere too right now in Standard. Bant mid-ramp builds, Temur Reclamation, Sultai mid-range, Simic Flash, and more. Pioneer, this is in Sultai Delirium and more decks there. Modern, it's in Snowblade and other decks in that format too, even sees Legacy play. Yeah, I still expect this card to stabilize in the coming weeks, especially once we get kind of past the hype from the new decks, just because a lot of Theros Beyond Death was open not too long ago, so there's a lot of these in circulation. Remember, that's not just the draft packs, but also those collector boosters, which did put a lot of mythic rares out there in the environment. Alright, let's move on to Pioneer. In your top 6 Pioneer legal cards that have lost value this week. Coming in at number 6 is Gideon of the Trials, down $1.10 to $16.32. And this card was going up in value recently, so I think you're just seeing some normalization here, some retraction. You'll find this in Mono White Devotion and other decks in the format. Number 5 is Supreme Verdict, the one from Return to Ravnica this week. It goes down $1.12 to $9.99. This was recently reprinted in Mystery Boosters, which is why it's a little soft right now, but it still sees a ton of play. Azorius Control, Jeskai Fire, Super Friends, and more in the format. Modern, another card you'll find in Bant Snowblade, Niv to Light, and other decks there. And this sees Legacy play. Plus, it's a huge Commander card. Number 4 is Emrakul, the Promised End, another card that is retracting after some recent gains. It goes down $1.15 this week to $40.84. Another card that's found in Sultai Delirium and other decks in the format. In Modern, you'll find this in Tron builds, Legacy Eldrazi Post, and it has seen more Commander play recently too in these big mana decks. And also, there are some new cards that let you cheat cards off the top-ish of your library as well. We'll talk more about that later in the video. So some of these big Eldrazi's are benefiting from that. Number 3, Purphoros, God of the Forge from Theros. It goes down $1.16 to $9.98. This is a very popular Commander card, but it was recently reprinted not once but twice. One time in Mystery Boosters, and also a second time in one of the Theros Stargazing Secret Layers in foil. Number 2 is Thoughtseize. It's the Lorwyn copy though, going down $1.23 to $38.49. The more expensive copy, shrinking a little bit this week, still sees extensive play in Pioneer, Modern, and Legacy. Number 1 is Sliver Hivelord from Magic 2015. It goes down $1.38 to $20. This is another card that was reprinted in Mystery Boosters. And of course, you'll want this if you're playing a Commander Sliver build. There's also one of these in the sideboard of a Modern Sliver deck. We'll have to see if that deck catches on a little more, but it's interesting if nothing else. Alright, let's move on to your top 5 Pioneer legal cards that have gained value this week. Coming in at number 5 is Elenda the Dusk Rose. It goes up $1.64 to $15.13. This has seen some increased play with newer cards, things like Fiend Artisan, Eerie Ultimatum, Death's Oasis, and more from Ikoria. This also has some good interactions with Mutate and Commander. Number 4 is Growing Rights of Itlimoc, up $1.80 to $13.91. Huge Commander card here. Not too surprised to see this one going up in value. Feels like it was maybe overdue for a little bit of a climb. This is great in those big mana decks, of course, which, like I said, have been pushed a little bit recently because of Nyx Bloom Ancient. Also remember, Riz the Redeemed was reprinted in Mystery Boosters, and these two cards play pretty well together. And also new cards are pushing this too, things like Ziriz the Writhing Storm from Commander 2020. Number 3, Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth. 2 copies here. Planar Chaos up $1.78 to $25. Magic 2015 up $1.81 to $24.09. This sees a little Pioneer and Modern play, but it's more of a Legacy and Vintage card. The reason this is going up though this week is because it's a highly played Commander card, and it's great with Cabal Coffers, which we might see later on. Number 2 is Zakama Primal Calamity, up $3.81 to $29.49. Another card moving because of Commander more so, of course, than Pioneer. And that's something you're going to see in this video a lot. Commander right now is driving the prices of these cards more than anything. And this is a great card to play in Commander, either in a fair way, like in a Dinosaur Tribal build, or in an unfair way if you're trying to create some loops with this by playing it, untapping your lands, bouncing it back, playing it again. Number 1 is Cyclonic Rift, one of the biggest Commander cards that is out there. Now, this also sees a tad bit of Modern play. You'll find this in Modern Mono Blue Tron decks sometimes, but again, the reason it's moving is Commander. Commander 2014 goes up $3.74 to $35 this week. Modern Masters 2017 goes up $4.46 to $39.94. Return to Ravnica of $4.60 to $34.90. Alright, on to your top 5 Modern legal cards that have lost value this week. Coming in at number 5 is Ensnaring Bridge from Masters 25. It goes down $1.58 to $27.56. And percentage of play on this card is down quite a bit from where it was a few months ago. Now, it does still see a little play. Sometimes there's a copy found in Tron builds here or there. It does see some Legacy and Vintage play too, but I would expect this card to lose more value before it stabilizes. Number 4 is Mikaeus the Unhallowed from Ultimate Masters. It goes down $1.63 to $31.14. Now, this is retraction based off some big jumps recently with this card. Not too surprising to see things starting to stabilize finally. Now, this card has seen some increased Commander play with things like Fiend Artisan. Number 3 is Ulamog, the Infinite Gyre from Ultimate Masters, another card that was going up in value quite a bit recently, finally retracting a little bit, going down $2.17 to $37.95. Now, there's another copy of this card going up we're going to see later, and the card is still very popular right now in Commander. Like I mentioned, with all these Eldrazi, the big mana decks are interested in them sometimes, also just Eldrazi builds in general could be interested. And like I said, there are some new cards that care about what's on the top portion of your library, so they're giving the Eldrazi a little push too. Number 2 is Pact of Negation. This is the one from Future Sight, and again, we're going to see different copies of this going up later, so everything's sort of stabilizing, trying to find new price points right now. This one goes down $2.77 to $30, and this does see Modern play, of course, and Amulet Titan, which is popular and more decks there, but it's also a very big Commander card. Number 1. Here's Misty Rainforest finally retracting, normalizing a little bit. Zendikar goes down $2.49 to $88.99. Modern Masters 2017 down $4.89 to $92.10. This card started jumping up in value when players got kind of that sticker shock when they saw what people were asking for those Secret Lair Ultimate Editions. A lot of folks just said, forget it, I'll just go ahead and buy copies of the card if I need it. Also, this is probably the most played Shockland right now in general. This color combination has been very popular recently in a number of formats, so that's another reason this card has been driven as hard as it has been. But I think people are either getting to the point where the price is just getting too high, or they are thinking about the future reprints that have been promised, and this does start to dip down again. Alright, let's move on to your top 5 Modern legal cards that have gained value this week. Coming in at number 5 is Doubling Season. Yet again, not really a modern card, more of a commander card here. Modern Masters goes up 215 to 63.62. Ravnica City of Guilds goes up $6.40 to $65. So this is another card that could be seeing a little more play because of Reese the Redeemed being reprinted in mystery boosters. But I think what's really driving this more than anything right now is the cards from Ikoria and Commander 2020 that play well with this. There's a lot of cards that create +1/+1 counters and a lot that create tokens too. Number 4, surprise, surprise, it's a commander card. Exquisite Blood goes up 663 to 47.44. And this combos very well with Sanguine Bond in the format. Number 3, Echo of Eons. Now this one goes up 675 to 13.66. Another card I thought was undervalued for a while. Even if you take Commander out of the equation, this is seeing a fair amount of legacy play. But again, Commander's was really pushing this. There are cards from Commander 2020 that are making this even more desirable than it was. A reprinting of Locust God, for example, and new cards like Ziriz the Writhing Storm again, or Shabraz the Sky Shark. Number 2, I haven't done it in a while, so let's go ahead and use the one per video. It's Mana Reflection from Shadowmoor, and you know what that means. This was the time period of Magic that there was a little bit of a recession in the game. Less packs were open, so some of these rares tend to get spiky. This one in particular is a great commander card, and like I've been saying, the big mana decks have been popular. This goes up 12.19 this week to 49.97. There you go. Number 1 is a clean sweep. We have another commander card. It's Sliver Legion from Future Sight. It goes up 14.47 to 94.99. Great in those Sliver commander decks, obviously, which did gain popularity again back when the Kaleidoscope Killer Secret Lair came out, reprinting Sliver Overlord. Also, remember Sliver Hivelord was reprinted in Mystery Boosters. Alright, welcome to the Vintage Spotlight, where we talk about really old commander cards. Or sometimes we also try to talk about cards that see play in Vintage, Legacy, 93, 94, or cards that are just popular among collectors. So let's see what's happening here. We have Badlands, and this of course could be played in Commander, but could be played in a lot of places. This is the one from Revised. It is on the reserve list. It goes up 671 to 227.45 this week. Survival of the Fittest from Exodus. It goes up 724 to 120.81. This is on the reserve list, but it did get a reprinting in a Judge promo and foil before they closed that loophole on the list. This does see vintage play, of course, in survival builds. Also sees commander play and has seen increased play recently with Thiemo Luminous Enigma. Mana Crypt. This is a great vintage card, great commander card, especially for competitive commander. Eternal Masters goes up 225 to 192.64. The media promo, the original one from the book giveaway, it goes up 226 to 269.99. The Mystery Boosters copy jumps 860 this week to 158.84. Next we have Gilded Drake. This is on the reserve list and it goes up 964 to 141.99. This card's been jumping a lot recently. It does see some legacy play frequently in the sideboard of Esper Vile decks. However, Commander again is what's really pushing this. A lot of competitive Commander decks will run this, including Opus Thief, which has been a very popular deck over the last couple weeks, and there's a few other cards that we're going to see in the video today that are part of those builds. Grim Monolith. This goes up 1025 to 198.74, also on the reserve list. Sees a lot of legacy play, but also sees a lot of commander play too. It has seen additional play with Zerta the Dawnwaker recently. Mox Diamond from Strongholds, and again on the reserve list, but they did reprint this in From the Vault Relics and foil again before they closed that loophole. It goes up $10.78 to $300 this week. And this does see legacy play, but it sees a whole lot of commander play too. Field of Dreams, this one's on the reserve list from Legends. It goes up 14.26 to 81.88. Just a big percentage jump this week more than anything I wanted to point out. Next we have a tutor. You're going to see a lot of tutors in this video again this week. Vampiric Tutor, 2 copies to talk about today. Eternal Masters up $1.18 to 110.79. 6th edition goes up 16.76 to 104.74. Of course, you see this in Vintage and also Commander. Sylvan Library, this sees extensive legacy play, some vintage play, but it's also a huge commander card. Legends goes up 235 this week to 109.95. Eternal Masters up 441 to 49.95. 4th edition up 1008 to $50.86. And 5th edition goes up 1972 to 59.99. Next is Lion's Eye Diamond on the reserve list. It goes up 22.15 to 267.80. This card's been climbing a lot too recently. Sees legacy play, sees vintage play, but has seen increased commander play recently for a number of reasons. One, there's a combo now with this Wheel of Fortune, Underworld Breach, and Thassa's Oracle. That's made the card a little more popular. Also, now there's some new cards that play well with it. Things like Rael the Everwise, Brawlin Sky Shark Rider, and Luris of the Dream Den. Classic card here, Mana Drain. It sees a little vintage play, but it's become more of a commander card than anything. This is the Legends copy. It goes up 23.29 to 209.99. Tropical Island from Revised on the reserve list, of course, goes up $29.60 this week to $350. Underground Sea on the reserve list, Revised goes up $11.27 to $480. Unlimited goes up $30.97 to $970.96. Willow Satyr, this is on the reserve list. It goes up $41.56 to $125. I mentioned this in the video last week, and it's important that I mention it this week too. A lot of the reason that you see jumps like this and some big jumps across the board is the fact that the big sellers closed their warehouses. A lot of them aren't selling cards online right now, and you have just less inventory out there. So when somebody buys a couple cards and they buy the ones that are out there at a reasonable price, that doesn't leave anything but the more expensive prices. People see these prices going up and they get scared that they're missing out. The fear of missing out kicks in and they start paying more than they normally would for cards. Now, hopefully those big sellers will be able to open sooner than later. And when they do, you're going to see some of these cards like this one probably start to go back down and stabilize. However, it doesn't mean that they'll go back down to where they were before, because as these sellers come back online, they may say, you know what, people are paying more for these cards than they were in the past, so I'm going to just charge more too. And also when the new inventory hits, you might get more fear of missing out kicking in because people thought they might have missed an opportunity. They're going to take the one that they see in front of them, even if they are paying more than they should for the cards. So just keep that in mind as you look at all the prices in the market right now. Gaia's Cradle, a popular card from Urza's Saga, did get a reprinting though, even though it is on the reserve list as a foil judge promo. It goes up $43.41 to $449.23. You'll find this in Legacy Elves and Maverick decks. It's a great commander card though, again, especially in those big mana decks. And another card that plays well with Reese the Redeemed, which was again reprinted in Mystery Boosters. Birds of Paradise, here's another example of a card that's just drying up a little bit in the marketplace, but it's a great classic card. It's Birds of Paradise from Unlimited. It goes up $60.52 to $295 this week. And the same thing with Force Field from Unlimited on the reserve list. The more expensive copies are still sitting there. The cheaper ones have dried up. It goes up $170.58 to $489.55. Now, if I was serious about picking this card up in a light played condition, I would hold out to try to find this around $250. I think right now that'd be a more fair price than what you see here. All right, I know what you're saying. Hey, John from Heroes and Legends. I came here for the Commander cards. Where are the Commander cards? Well, you're in luck. We're here at the Commander Spotlight, and for the first time in this video, we're going to talk about some Commander cards. So, again, there's a ton of cards here like the last couple weeks. I'm going to go really, really fast and kind of speed around these. Not going to go into all the detail I usually go into because there's just too many of them. So let's get going. Fauna Shaman from Ultimate Masters sees a lot of Commander play. It goes up $1.02 to $6.41. Burmaz King of Oreskos goes up $1.03 to $14.41. This has seen increased play with Kahira the Orphan Guard and some of the other new cards from Ikoria. Anointed Procession going up $1.03 to $21.01. Again, seeing more Commander play because of cards from Ikoria and Commander 2020 that create tokens. Thrashios Triton Hero, only found in foil. It goes up $1.03 to $65. Even though the Sushi Hulk deck did get a little bit of a hit with Flash being banned, it's still a good deck, and this is one of the more popular partner commanders for those builds. Also, this is in a whole lot of other commander builds too. Erixmithy Slumbering Isle goes up $1.04 to $10.95. Has seen increased play with some of the Theros Beyond Death cards, things like Serpent of Yawning Depths, Kiora Best the Sea God, and more. Morphon the Boundless up $1.05 to $13.25. Increased commander play because of Kaleidoscope Killers. All three of the cards in that product are good with this. And this is just a popular commander card in general. Also good with any sort of tribe, like cats, for example, which are getting a little bit of a push right now from new cards and also humans. Bloodchief Ascension goes up $1.09 to $14.97. Seeing some increased commander play right now with Kroxa Titan of Death's Hunger. Primordial Hydra from Magic 2013 goes up $1.11 to $11.70. And this has seen some more play in Commander recently because of Zixara the Exemplary again. Also, too, remember Roshin Meander was reprinted in Mystery Boosters. That plays well with this as well. And this is a great mutate target. Null Rod on the reserve list. It goes up $1.13 to $29.35. This sees Legacy and Vintage play, but is also seeing some competitive Commander play too. Vorinclex Voice of Hunger goes up $1.14 to $25.50. This is the one from Iconic Masters. Has seen increased play again in these big mana decks, but it's just a good card in general. Omniscience, the one from Magic 2019, up $1.15 to $12.99. Now, this is a good legacy card in Sneak and Show and Omnitel builds, but this is also seeing a lot of commander play now too. Bloom Tender, this is the one from Mystery Boosters though, the newer copy. It goes up $1.17 to $31.16. And of course, this is a huge commander card, especially good with partner commanders because those decks tend to push color a little more. Rings of Brighthearth from Lorwyn, great commander card. It's a big combo enabler. It goes up $1.18 to $50.68. Kozilek, Butcher of Truth, another big old Eldrazi. Rise of the Eldrazi goes up $1.11 to $52.79. Modern Masters 2015 up $1.23 to $47.99. Teferi's Protection, the one from Mystery Boosters. Fantastic card in white for commander. It goes up $1.27 to $34.99. Alms Collector up $1.29 to $8.45. This is a card that is drying up in the marketplace and has seen some increased commander play with Shabraz, the Sky Shark, and some other cards, but I think the main reason this is moving up this quickly is this is a card that you find many times in Opus Thief builds. Royal Elemental up $1.30 to $11.30 has seen increased commander play recently with Dryad of the Elysian Grove and also Uro Titan of Nature's Wrath. The First Sliver up $1.31 to $13.90. Now we already mentioned the reprints that have made slivers a little more popular again in commander, but this card also combos with Food Chain and Squee the Immortal, so that's another reason a lot of people are picking it up. Damnation from Planar Chaos sees modern play, but it's a huge commander card. It goes up $1.31 to $32.68. Sword of Truth and Justice goes up $1.33 to $16.09. Another card being pushed by some new Ikoria and Commander 2020 cards. Things like Kazura Ruthless Stalker, Yukima Stalking Shadow, and Kelsey the Plague. Ramos Dragon Engine can only be found in foil. It goes up $1.37 to $14.98. And this has seen some increased play since the Dragon reprint and Kaleidoscope Killers. But again, just generally, this card is very good and does play well with some of the new cards too. Crucible of Worlds from 10th edition up $1.37 to $24.73. This is another huge commander card, but it does see a little modern and some vintage play too. Dark Confidant, Modern Masters 2015 up $1.27 to $48.23. Ravnica City of Guilds up $1.47 to $48.52. So traditionally, when I look at this card, I think modern and legacy and vintage as well, but it's seeing more and more play in competitive commander nowadays. Oracle of Moldiah goes up $1.60 to $34.95. This sees extensive commander play in lands builds. Rhystic Study, this is the one from Mystery Boosters, up $1.66 to $24.05, one of the biggest commander cards that exists. Personal Tutor, getting harder and harder to find in good condition, being from Portal. It goes up $1.77 to $26.79. Sensei's Divining Top up $1.78 to $47.90. This is the one from Eternal Masters. And sure, this sees vintage play, but this is a huge commander card. And like I said earlier, there's some new cards that care about what's on the top portion of your library, and this can help you manipulate that a little bit. One example would be a card like Winota, Joiner of Forces. Hammer of Nizan goes up $1.81 to $21.68, another highly played commander card, and has seen some increased play with Dalico's Crafter of Wonders. Mishra's Bauble, it goes up $1.89 to $17. This is the one from Cold Snap. The other ones are starting to calm down a little bit. This card's been hot for a couple weeks now. And the main reason this card has been as hot as it is because of a new card from Ikoria, and that of course is Lurrus of the Dream Den. Lurrus in this card create a engine where you can basically draw 2 cards per turn. Nothing wrong with that. That can happen in Commander, but you're also seeing that combo show up in Modern, Legacy, and Vintage too. To the point where a lot of people are suspecting that one of these 2 cards will most likely get banned in some of those formats, if not all of them at some point in the future. So keep an eye on it, but for right now, this card is at least slowing down and stabilizing. Force of Will from Eternal Masters. This is a great vintage card, great legacy card, and a great commander card. It goes up $1.90 to $120.98. Vidalcan Orrery, this is the one from 5th Dawn. It goes up $1.93 to $34.78. And this is another just highly played commander card in multiple builds. Craterhoof Behemoth from Modern Masters 2017 up $1.97 to $53.45. And this does see play in Legacy Elves builds, but again, it's commander pushing this. Big mana decks again like this. Reese the Redeemed, which was recently reprinted, likes this as well. Ulamog the Infinite Gyre. This is the one from Modern Masters 2015. As promised, here's a copy going up. It goes up $205 to $38. And here's the Pact of Negation copies that are going up. Modern Masters 25 goes up $1 to $26.55. Modern Masters goes up $208 to $29.60. Force of Negation shows up next. It's up $208 to $40.99. Another card that when you look at it, you think, okay, modern, like Bant Snowblade, shows up in Legacy and Vintage too. But again, with competitive commander, I'm starting to think of this card more and more as a commander card. Consecrated Sphinx, the one from Iconic Masters, up $220 to $26.60. Very big commander card. And again, remember, the Locust God recently got reprinted in the Timeless Wisdom Commander 2020 deck. This also plays really well with new cards too, like Shabraz the Sky Shark. It's Ad Nauseam, up $235 to $26.32. And of course, this has seen increased play ever since Thassa's Oracle came out. You can find this in Opus Thief as well, and this does see modern and legacy play too. Bruised Tarl, Boris Herder goes up 242 to 755, another card you can only find in foil. And I'll tell you, these partner commanders, especially the ones from Commander 2016, have been red hot. And now this one's jumping up. It has seen some increased play with a new card, Winota, Joiner of Forces. Riku of Two Reflections from Commander, it goes up 246 to 2198. Popular commander, this actually sees a lot of play in the format as a commander. And this has seen some additional play with Nyx Plume Ancient and a few other new cards like Twinning Staff too. Land Tax, another really, really good commander card in white. 4th edition goes up $237 to $32. Battle Bond up $247 to $37.36. Avenger of Zendikar. Now that dual deck Zendikar versus Eldrazi copy is only in foil. It goes up $1.07 to $10.84. The World Weight copy goes up $2.68 to $11.90. So this is another huge commander card. Many times you'll find this one in lands builds. Speaking of lands, it's City of Brass. Modern Masters up $1.57 to $17.97. Arabian Nights up $2.50 to $374.99 this week. And this is another huge commander card. It's good in partner commander decks as well. Again, those go deeper in colors a lot of the time. In Modern, this is also in Dredge and Ad Nauseam and other decks there. Legacy, you'll find this in Dredge too. Angel's Grace from Modern Masters up $2.52 to $16.20. To tie it all together, this does see play in Modern, Ad Nauseam, and more. But this is a solid commander card too, and has seen increased play with Thassa's Oracle in the format. Time Spiral on the reserve list goes up $2.79 to $65. Another solid commander card here, sees play in competitive decks, and has seen more play recently because of new cards from Commander 2020. Remember, again, the Locust God got reprinted, and also Z-Riz, the Writhing Storm, and Shabraz the Sky Shark could appreciate this. Maelstrom Wanderer, another card going up, at least in part because of some of the new cards. Plane Chase Anthology up $1.35 to $14.97. Eternal Masters goes up $1.51 to $13.24. Plane Chase 2012 goes up $2.88 to $12.99. Now, this is a very popular commander as well, and has seen some legacy play recently as a one-of and a Gyruda combo build. Phyrexian Altar, this is the one from Invasion. It goes up $2.95 to $34.71, and this has seen more commander play because of a new card as well. This combos very well with Luminous Broodmoth and Solemnity. Bladesteel Colossus keeps going up, $307 this week to $89.99. This sees vintage play, but again, it's really commander driving the price. Very popular in those big mana decks as well, but this is also a really good mutate target, which has pushed this a lot recently. This is a good upgrade perhaps to Enhanced Evolution, or you could just build your own mutate deck. Cavern of Souls, this is a classic commander card now, sees a ton of play, also play in Modern, Humans, Eldrazi Tron, Amulet Titan, and more there. Sees legacy play too. Ultimate Masters up $1.14 to $60.32. Modern Masters 2017 goes up $1.52 to $61.82. Avacyn Restored up $3.11 to $59.99. Ancient Tomb, good legacy and vintage card, but it's a huge commander card. Ultimate Masters goes up $1.58 to $37.04. Tempest up $3.24 to $40.44. Urza Lord High Artificer up $3.24 to $46.99. You know you're going to find this in Modern Urza builds and even some legacy and vintage decks too. But again, this is another huge commander card, especially in those more competitive builds. It has been seeing a lot of play ever since Emery Lurker of the Lock came out as well. Scroll Rack from Tempest up $3.57 to $62.57. And again, here's a card that lets you put cards on top of your deck, which could matter with a few of the newer cards, including the aforementioned Winota, Joiner of Forces. Also, this is good with Yuriko, the Tiger Shadow, which was recently reprinted in Mystery Boosters. And beyond that, this is just a good card in general. You could put this in any commander deck and be happy with it. Forbidden Orchard sees play in vintage Oath of Druids builds, but is also a card that sees a lot of commander play. Commander 2016 goes up $1.24 to $20.47. Champions of Kamigawa up $3.61 to $25.98. Kalia of the Vast. That Commander Anthology copy is only in foil. It goes up $2.18 to $34.95. The Commander copy goes up $3.71 to $39.20. And this has seen increased play ever since the Ur-Dragon was reprinted in Kaleidoscope Killers. But again, just a solid commander card for Angel, Demon, or Dragon decks in general. Speaking of Angels, here's Avacyn, Angel of Hope. This is the one from Iconic Masters at $4 to $49.99. Generally a great commander card again, but it has seen some increased play with Cathril Aspect Warper. Food Chain. This goes up $401 to $57.99. Classic commander combo card. Sees a lot of play with the First Sliver and Squee the Immortal, like we mentioned earlier. Cursed Totem from Mirage. Sees a little commander play. It goes up $431 this week to $19.95. Intuition from Tempest. This is on the reserve list, but did get a reprinting as a Judge Foil. It goes up $468 this week to $55.70. This is good with the new Ikoria card, Eerie Ultimatum. Also sees legacy play in Omnitel and Sneak and Show builds. Necropotence. Alright, this is another huge commander card. You'll find this in Opus Thief, and it's a good vintage card too. Iconic Masters goes up $1.58 to $20.82. Eternal Masters up $1.60 to $22.79. 5th edition up $2.31 to $20.88. Ice Age goes up $4.69 to $25.62. Yawgmoth's Whale from Urza's Saga, again, it is on the reserve list, but did show up as a judge promo before they closed the loophole. It goes up $4.79 this week to $84.22. Another card you might see in the Opus Thief build, but it's in other decks too, popular in like Carrick Son of Yawgmoth, for example, and this also sees vintage play. Mana Vault, huge commander card, huge vintage card too. Revised goes up $1.09 to $39.47. 5th edition up $2.75 to $37.02. Ultimate Masters goes up $5 to $64.99. Cabal Coffer, see, I wouldn't let you down. Here's Plane Chase, it goes up $2.46 to $73.60. Torment goes up $5.37 to $57.20. Like I said earlier, this plays really well with Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth, and this is just a huge commander card in general in those black decks. Chrome Mox from Eternal Masters goes up $5.46 this week to $78.99. This sees legacy play, but of course it's a big competitive commander card too. Crom Ludwig's Opus, only found in foil, another one of these Commander 2016 partners that's going up in value. This time up $5.84 to $18.99. So this is another card that sees some additional commander play with new cards, things like Zera's the Writhing Storm. But this is also the Opus and Opus Thief. Enlightened Tutor, 2 copies to talk about this time. Mirage up $1.54 to $30. 6th edition up $5.90 to $34.99. And like I've been saying, these tutors are critical if you want to play competitive commander. Here's another one, Demonic Tutor. This one also sees vintage play. Dual Decks Anthology goes up $1.18 to $36.10. Revised up $1.89 to $35.08. And Dual Decks Divine vs. Demonic up $5.93 to $37.99. Here's another tutor that sees play in vintage and commander. It's Mystical Tutor. Mirage up $1.64 to $14.99. Eternal Masters up $4 to $19.95. 6th edition goes up $6.15 to $22.50. Sarah's Sanctum on the reserve list. It goes up $6.18 to $102.02. And this has always been a decent card in commander if you have an enchantment heavy deck. But recently, with Theros Beyond Death coming out, there's more people interested in those type of decks and more people interested in this card. Final Fortune, 7th edition up $3.09 to $4.99, 6th edition up $3.45 to $5.50, Mirage up $7.82 to $9.98. Sure, this does see a little commander play, but this one feels like a targeted buyout to me more than anything. Mana Echoes, awesome tribal card found many times in Sliver commander builds. It goes up $9.77 to $44.25 this week. Power Artifact on the reserve list, classic combo enabler in commander. It goes up $11.59 to $163.99. Sliver Queen on the reserve list. We've been talking about slivers being hot. This one is going up quite a bit. $13.14 to $125.29. Vile Smasher the Fierce, another Commander 2016 partner going up. You can only find this one in foil too. It goes up $14.05 to $29.89. And this has seen increased commander play with Obosh the Prey Piercer. Winds of Change. You might be picking up on the theme here. Cards that potentially allow you to draw a lot of cards at once are really going up in value a lot right now. And again, it's because of some of these new cards from Commander 2020 especially. You have the Lotus God reprint. You have Shabraz the Sky Shark. You have Zera's the Writhing Storm. So a card like Winds of Change, which is already kind of hard to find in good condition, it's really starting to take off. 4th edition up $4.67 to $19.37. 5th edition up $4.71 to $20.99. Legends up $8.32 to $27.50. Portal goes up $14.49 to $37.99. Like I said, when the big sellers start listing product again, I do think cards like this will stabilize down and calm down a little bit, but I don't necessarily expect them to go back down to where they were. Earthcraft, another card that has been spiking wildly. This one's on the reserve list. It goes up $14.77 to $85.49. And this has seen increased commander play with the reprinting of Rees the Redeemed. It's also good in decks with Tayam Luminous Enigma and Zera's the Writhing Storm. Concordant Crossroads from, get this, Chronicles. I have a Chronicles card on this list going up $16.34 to $39.99. In a lot of ways, this card has been undervalued for a while. The Legends copy is very expensive. This one has always been very cheap, but it looks like people are catching on now. And this is apparently drying up in the marketplace, again, without the big sellers out there. In general, this is a great commander card for green creature-centric decks. Onto the Pauper Spotlight. Much like last week, you're going to see a lot of Mystery Booster cards here as they are trying to find their price point. Priest of Titania from Mystery Boosters goes up 10 cents to $3.30. This is in Elves builds in the Pauper format. In Commander, too, this is in Elves decks and also is a good card to play with Rees the Redeemed. Okiba Gang Shinobi from Mystery Boosters goes up 11 cents to 75 cents. This is in Mono Black Control, Mardu Aggro, and more in the format. Also, this could be seeing some more commander play because of recent reprints. Yuriko the Tiger Shadow was reprinted in Mystery Boosters. and Marrow-Gnawer was reprinted in foil in both Mystery Boosters and the Year of the Rat Secret Lair. Preordained, 3 copies here. Magic 2011 up 12 cents to 321. Commander 2015 up 15 cents to 420. Mystery Booster goes up 23 cents to 273. This is in Delver Fairies, Skred Fairies, Dimir Control, and more in the format. And also this does see Legacy, Vintage, and Commander play. Snap from Mystery Boosters goes up 81 cents to 146. You'll find this in Delver Fairies, Skred Fairies, Azorius Flicker, and more. And of course, we have another card here that does see Commander play as well and has seen increased play with some newer cards. Kelmax the Stormsire and Twinning Staff. Time for the premium spotlight. I'll just give my quick disclaimer. I don't like to spend too much time talking about rare promos or rare foils because especially right now in the marketplace for the reasons I mentioned earlier, it is really hard to find true data and what cards are really worth sometimes because if they dry up too quickly, the data could be skewed and also you can have market manipulation occurring. But I at least try to find one card every week that feels like it's moving naturally with the market. This week I went with Echo of Eons. The foil copy is going up $16.25 to $49.99. Alright, that does it for this week's Market Watch. If you stuck with me the whole time, thank you. I appreciate it. And we'll see what happens. Next week I do think we're going to see some stabilization. It feels like things were slowing down a little bit, even though, like I said at the top of the video, we had a lot of cards going up in value, but overall they weren't spiking as dramatically as they were spiking over the last 2 to 3 weeks. So I guess we'll see. Until next time though, hey, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon and have a great day.